And what I mean there when I say there could be a big one is Anima.
Yes.
We've done the Anima drought. We've not reversed it, but we've helped out a bunch with the Anima drought canonically. I don't want to fall prey to false memories here, but I sort of remember somebody at Blizzard indicating more Anima in patch 9.1.
I think that was kind of like... I think people were a little bit confused about what actually happened to all the Anima whenever we beat Denathrius. Because obviously it was before the raid, he tore open Nathria and pumped loads of it into the maw. But at the same time, we did liberate Nathria and canonically cut off whatever he dumped in. So all of those massive storages you see down the back of the Dark Vein room, I imagine there will be soup kitchens and Venthyr, like in Orbos, going, here's your Anima. We'll redistribute this back out. So whatever changes they make should be an end to the Anima drought. And hopefully that's represented in how much Anima we get as well. Yeah,
and I think that's actually a major thing, because if patch 9.1 comes out, casual players in chat. And, whenever I say casual players, I want to be really clear. That's not a disparaging thing for me. I think we need better words to describe all of these things, because, in many ways, the way that I played the game in the past was as a casual hardcore. And what a casual hardcore is somebody who's hardcore about being casual. And that means, I was doing my old raids, I was doing my gold making, I was trying to get mounts and do all that stuff for my character. And that, I think, is one of the most fun ways to play the game whenever it's, all well realized and those goals exist. So, my casuals in chat, have you been engaging with the cosmetics that you can unlock via the Anima system? Or, for you, as a few people have mentioned in chat thus far, has the Anima values just not really felt right? Because I could say from my perspective, and I believe from yours as well, it's like, to me, it feels like I would have to do so much content, a bunch of which I'm really not that pumped about World Quest, in order to get the Anima required to get some of the unlocks that, to me, are cool, or upgrade my Covenant Sanctum, which, as it turns out, is a really, really expensive upgrade when you really get into it.
Very much.
So, I mean, everybody's here is saying 0 in chat. Now, the problem is I've actually sort of forgotten the question that I asked.
It was, how much have you been engaging with the collectibles you can get
from
Anima? So, so it's not a good answer.
Yeah, so we've got lots of people saying no or 0, and then loads of people who are saying that, we are not feeling like the Anima values are enough. I mean, Paul McKenna says you're literally complaining about having agency to target mounts and transmogs. I'm not. Not at all. No. That agency is great. Really great. What I've been building to, though, is that the time needed as perceived by players in the Anima system appears to be something that is making it harder for them to engage with that player agency driven cosmetic acquisition stuff. It's making it harder for them to engage with that, or maybe not engage with it at all, because they're like, well, I would have to do so many world quests to get the Anima that I would need to get these things that I want, even though maybe they feel like they've already unlocked their renown track, and maybe that's what it felt like should have unlocked the thing. There's maybe some confusion there. So that is a thought there. Is it actually the case that where in the Legion expansion, I would have been doing the campaigns, and I would have been getting, some of the, the hidden artifact appearances and stuff like that, or maybe just spinning up fresh alts? I mean, I've got my Horde server, just a whole squad of Legion people with artifacts. But then that's the thing, like, that was stuff to go and do in those alts. Do those class stories. Get those various different tints and things for those weapons. And that was just to go out and do the thing. But here, it's all homogenized into the Anima. And it seems like the rate of that Anima acquisition, and maybe some of the methods of that acquisition, is maybe bouncing off people, and then maybe that is what is causing, some people who should be thrilled at the amount of casual, collection content that's in this expansion, not being thrilled because maybe they don't feel like it's an accessible thing to them.
Yeah. Okay, just about to give a point, started coughing. Fantastic. Yeah, so my perspective on this is, as someone who, like, if the system feels right, I'll super engage with systems and collectibles and things, like I did with Legion. I got, I think it was 17 out of 36 Mage Towers, I think.
Damn.
I don't know why I remember that. It was at least one in every class, and then all of the classes I liked. I had a bunch of tints. I have a lot of PvP armor, just from getting Marks of Honor across different classes. I like that stuff when it works, when it makes sense, when it feels good. I don't like it in Shadowlands, but that's because I look at the number, I go, oh, I need Anima. I need this for, first of all, I needed to upgrade my Covenant, and the number's big, and I'm doing the math in my head. I'm like, okay, that's this many world quests. Nah, I'm out, because it's so many thousands I need, which is so many, like, it's, 100 world quests. It is basically something like 80 to 120 world quests to unlock to upgrade the next Covenant piece, for the Covenant Sanctum piece for me, and it's like that's too much. There's no method I actually enjoy to go and target acquiring it, because as it stands, world quests I don't like. Raiding I do anyway. Mythic Plus is Mythic Plus. I'll do Mythic Plus when I want to do it, but there's no side content that I can reliably get Anima from,
other than world quests.
Whereas, if I had something if I could log in and go, okay, it's Anima farming time, and it's actually, it's a thing that feels like, oh, this is the fastest way to get Anima. It's, it's a different activity. It's a little bit of light gameplay. It's just kind of fun. I think that would incentivize me to actually go through with it. But the fact that it's this homogenous thing where I need 40,000. Like, I probably need 50,000 to get everything I want, just as a Kyrian, from where I am now. And that's, 500 world quests, or logging in for raid 50 times. I'm like, can I have a way to make this faster and, specifically target doing that, instead of it just being like drip fed from all the content I feel like I should be doing anyway.
So would you be somebody who would be willing to grind gulp frogs to get towards your goal? And I know that's a bit of an extreme example, but is there a world where, let's just say, patch 9.1 changes up the maw? The maw is now somewhere you can go, and maybe you can recover some of that anima that Denathrius poured in there. And then maybe it turns out that one of the ways to get anima in the game is to go to this, maybe a new revamped maw with this new place called Korthia, where you can do your Covenant strikes that are like Legion invasions, and you're kind of, you're it's like a thing to do that's not world quests. And if that was the way that you could just go and get some more anima, I can say that personally, if that was the case, I'd be way more going there, because I'm just like you. The weekly raid happens, I get 1,190 maybe-ish anima from doing that, and that's basically the anima that I get, because that does complete my weekly. And also, not that the weekly is, it's just gold now, I guess. Not for my character though, because
of course.
I did that thing of like holding both of the weekly quests and then doing the raid, because it seemed like that would actually give the renown catch-up system. Because I basically took a 2-week break from just about everything over Christmas, and a whole bunch of things I'm not going to get into here. But I really relied on like the catch-up system to get me there. But anyway, point is, the anima that I get is via the raid. And PvP, when I finally actually get into PvP, which I really do want to do. It's just life's got in the way. Life finds a way, and it gets in the way. But it's like, aside from those two things, there's just no way of me sitting down to go get some anima like solo.
Yeah.
And the way that I entered World of Warcraft was solo for the most part. It was solo. It was highly driven by fantasy, escapism, and experience. I remember getting my Netherwing. I remember a bunch of those great experiences in Mists of Pandaria early on. And I'd felt like some of that had diminished over time. So maybe Blizzard's next step should be, if they're married to a bunch of things, well, if we can just make them all awesome in whatever 9.1 does, make it so we can get a whole bunch of anima from there, from doing these various Covenant strikes, things like that, then maybe the like time equation in people's heads of, you know, cosmetics that I want, anima that I need, maybe that will actually look right. And then maybe loads of those casual players who, you know, whenever I asked them if they were feeling engaged by anima, they pretty much all said no. Maybe they'd say yes, because ultimately that's where you want to get.
Yeah, you say about farming gulp frogs as an example. Honestly, like, if you know the little island that was floating off Dalaran with the fishermen in Legion?
Yeah.
If I could jump off Oribos and fish anima from the maw, I would do that. Like, I would just sit for like 3 or 4 hours some Saturday and do that just to get enough anima to go somewhere, because it's like, that's
bad.
Yeah, but that's what World of Warcraft is in terms of like engaging with goals in whatever way. It's like, that would be on the grand chart of Mihail, whatever his name, I can't pronounce his surname's flow. That would be under relaxing. That would be me going, yes, okay, I'm facing a goal. There's no skill involved. There's no it's just me slightly paying attention. I would just sit there and I would just watch more episodes of Lie to Me while I'm just fishing up anima. I would do that all day, and I'd be like, you know what? That was fine. But it's more the fact that I don't have a way to divert power or time into getting anima. So I can't engage with the system, because engaging with that is doing everything else at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah, Spunk McCullens comes in and says that he agrees it would be a good reward, but says it's important to point out that we're advocating against what we advocated for earlier with tying rewards to content. I think there's a few important distinctions to make there. So what we're saying right now is like a pragmatic solution to a current problem with the existing framework that we've got. Yeah. Whereas that discussion earlier was basically a bit more first principles. And I suppose in a way we are treating the cosmetic angle of things differently to how we would treat the player power stuff, like your Stygia sockets, because for a lot of people that ends up feeling mandatory. Now, I will admit I'm not one of those people. I could not imagine doing that. You know, I could not imagine forcing myself through something because you know, that I don't like. And you know, I think that's why I've been able to, I mean, with Shadowlands, actually enjoy it a lot. You know, I have had basically like no negative experiences. Like I did an old school all-nighter to level up. I had a blast getting my character to, you know, its pre-raid situation. And then I went into a raid that, you know, from my perspective was awesome. Now, that was just because I got to, you know, complete some cool challenges in a game with my friends, and that's basically what I wanted from the game. You know, I did that for, you know, the time where I was playing it. It was awesome. I've had a really positive experience. But then for me, it's like, I just know, it's like I could just do these world, you know, as much as this back piece or this mount is awesome, the amount of world quests to get it, that's time where I could be playing around with rattling guns in Warhammer 2.
Of course.
Which is more just to say that it's that anima like time investment equation just didn't really work out for a bunch of people. And I think maybe also because, and we've covered this in the past, but you get souls are capped, right? Yeah, souls are capped. 100. And your weekly soul acquisition was capped, and then that would really set the player expectation that the thing that caps their progress is their soul's acquisition rate. Yeah. So you basically know you've got it ass backwards whenever it plays out the way that it did.
Yeah, it's the time getting aspect of it ended up not being a gate in any capacity, because it was for like the first like 2 or 3 weeks whenever soul cost was low, and so was anima cost. But then soul cost stayed low compared to how much it got. Anima cost skyrocketed, and it's like, you know, here's currency A and currency B, and we thought that's what it was, and then they went, nope, sorry, it's the other way around. You've been thinking about this wrong. We're like, well, we're not gonna, like, you haven't explained any of this to us. You know, you set the expectations wrong.
Yeah.